Right now, while everyone else thinks the growing season is winding down, there's a quiet window most gardeners walk straight past. It's not a secret. It's not some rare trick. It's just something almost nobody pays attention to at this exact point in August. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the gardeners who know about this window are still pulling fresh harvests out of their beds long after their neighbors have already given up and packed away their tools for the year. Because here's the truth. Nobody tells you when you're starting out. The calendar in your head, the one that says gardening season ends when summer ends, is wrong. Dead wrong. And if you've been operating on that assumption, you've probably been leaving free food on the table every single year without even realizing it. So stick around, because we're about to walk through 7 vegetables you can plant right now before August closes its doors that will reward you with a harvest before the cold really sets in. Some of these might surprise you. One of them in particular tends to make people stop and go, "Wait, seriously? This late?" And yes, seriously. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, the place where we help you grow more without spending a dime more than you have to. If this is your first time here, hello, and welcome to the family. We're glad you found us right at the perfect moment, because this is exactly the kind of video that separates gardeners who keep harvesting into fall from gardeners who think the fun is over. And if you're one of the regulars who's been with us for a while now, welcome back. You already know how we do things around here. Simple, practical, budget-friendly, and always aimed at getting the most out of every square foot of soil you've got. Before we dig in, if you're new here, consider tapping that subscribe button. We put out fresh, practical garden content regularly, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's get into it. Vegetable 1, bush beans. Let's start with something most people assume is strictly a summer crop, something they picture growing in the thick heat of July, right alongside their tomatoes and peppers. Bush beans. And I understand why people write them off this late in the year. The image in most gardeners' heads is beans thriving under blazing sun, not beans going into the ground as August winds down. But that image is outdated, and it's costing people a second harvest every single year without them even realizing it. Bush beans are fast. That's really the entire secret hiding in plain sight here. Most varieties move from seed to harvest in somewhere around 50 to 60 days, which means if you get them into the soil in these final days of August, you're looking at a harvest arriving right as the first cool nights of fall start rolling in, not after frost has already wiped everything out. Here's the part that tends to genuinely surprise people. Bush beans don't just tolerate cooler fall conditions. They often prefer them over the intense heat of midsummer. Extreme heat causes blossoms to drop before they ever get the chance to develop into pods, which is one of the quiet reasons a lot of summer bean harvests underperform. Planting late isn't settling for less. In a lot of climates, it's actually stepping into the better window entirely. If you're working with a tight budget, bush beans are also about as forgiving as it gets. They don't need elaborate trellising like their pole bean cousins. They don't demand rich amended soil, and they're naturally efficient at pulling nitrogen from the air and feeding it back into your soil as they grow. That means less fertilizer spending for you, and better soil for whatever you plant in that same spot next spring. Give them loose, well-draining soil, a spot with full sun, and consistent watering, especially while the seeds are germinating, and you'll have a second flush of beans without spending a cent more than what you probably already have sitting in your seed stash from earlier this season. Vegetable 2. Radishes. If bush beans are fast, radishes are practically instant by garden standards. Some varieties are ready in as little as 3 to 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks. Let that sink in for a second. That means you could plant these today and realistically be pulling them out of the ground before September has even finished. Radishes tend to get treated like a beginner crop, something you grow once when you're new to gardening and then quietly move on from once you feel more experienced. But that reputation massively undersells what they're capable of. They're one of the most efficient uses of garden space you'll find anywhere, and that's especially true late in the season, when other crops are winding down and leaving behind empty patches of soil that would otherwise just sit there doing nothing until spring. The trick with radishes this late in the year comes down to 2 things: spacing and consistent moisture. Crowded radishes end up putting all their energy into growing leaves instead of developing the actual root, which leaves you with a lot of green and very little to actually harvest. Inconsistent watering is the other culprit, and it's the reason behind that sharp, unpleasant bitterness a lot of people associate with homegrown radishes gone wrong. Keep them spaced a couple inches apart. Keep the soil evenly moist rather than alternating between bone dry and soaked, and you'll end up with crisp, mild roots that taste nothing like the sometimes woody, overly peppery radishes you find sitting in a plastic bag at the grocery store. And because radish seeds are cheap and the growing cycle is so short, this is one of the lowest risk plantings you can attempt this late in the season. Worst case, you've lost 3 weeks and a few dollars in seed. Best case, you've got fresh radishes on your table before October even arrives. Vegetable 3. Spinach. Now here's one that genuinely confuses a lot of newer gardeners, because spinach doesn't behave the way most vegetables do. It actually performs better as temperatures start dropping, not as they climb. Planted now, spinach has enough time to establish strong roots and healthy leaves before the real cold sets in, and cooler weather actually makes those leaves sweeter and more tender than anything you'd get from a summer planting. Heat is spinach's real enemy here. It causes the plant to bolt, which means it panics, rushes to produce seed, and turns bitter in the process, essentially ruining the harvest before you even get to enjoy it. Planting in late August sidesteps that entire problem. Spinach also happens to be one of the most forgiving crops on this entire list for anyone gardening on a budget, because it doesn't demand rich, heavily amended soil to actually thrive. A basic bed with decent drainage and partial sun exposure is genuinely enough to get a solid, reliable harvest going within just a handful of weeks. There's also a practical bonus most people overlook. Spinach can handle a light frost without much trouble, meaning your harvest window doesn't slam shut the moment the temperature dips for the first time. In a lot of regions, you can keep harvesting spinach well into the fall, long after your neighbors have already cleared their beds and called the season finished. Vegetable 4. Carrots. Carrots tend to surprise people because everyone mentally files them under spring planting. But a late summer carrot crop, timed correctly, can actually taste noticeably better than anything you'd pull out of the ground back in June. Why does that happen? Cold exposure late in a carrot's growth cycle triggers the plant to convert its stored starches into sugars, which is essentially the plant's own natural defense mechanism against freezing temperatures. The result for you is a sweeter, more flavorful carrot than anything you'll typically get from an earlier planting in the year. The catch with carrots, and I'll be upfront about this one, is patience. They take longer than most other crops on this list, typically 70 days or more depending on the variety you choose, so timing genuinely matters here. If your first frost date tends to arrive early where you live, look for a quicker maturing variety so you're not racing the clock unnecessarily. Soil preparation also matters more with carrots than with almost anything else on this list. Make sure your soil is loose and free of rocks or heavy clay, since compacted or rocky soil is the single most common reason homegrown carrots come out twisted, forked, or stunted, instead of long and straight. If your existing soil isn't ideal, even a simple raised section with loosened, sifted soil can make a dramatic difference here, and it doesn't require spending money on anything beyond a bit of extra effort. Vegetable 5. Kale. Kale might genuinely be the single most underrated crop for late-season planting, because just like spinach, it actually improves with a bit of cold exposure rather than being harmed by it. Planted now, kale has enough time to build strong, well-established leaves before temperatures really start dropping, and once frost does eventually arrive, something interesting happens beneath the surface. The plant produces natural sugars as a survival response to the cold, and the leaves become noticeably sweeter and far less bitter than kale that was harvested during warmer months. This is one of those crops where a little patience pays off directly in flavor, and it's worth mentioning because a lot of people who claim they simply don't like kale have honestly only ever tasted summer-grown kale, which tends to be tougher, more fibrous, and considerably more bitter. Fall-grown kale, especially anything harvested after a light frost, is an entirely different eating experience, and it might genuinely change your opinion of the vegetable altogether. Kale is also incredibly low maintenance once it's established, requiring minimal fuss beyond consistent watering and the occasional light feeding, which makes it a perfect fit for anyone trying to stretch their gardening budget through the final stretch of the growing year. And because kale keeps producing new leaves as you harvest, a single planting can realistically keep feeding you for weeks, sometimes even months, depending on how mild your fall turns out to be. Vegetable 6. Turnips. Turnips deserve a lot more credit than they typically get, mainly because most people only think of them as a single vegetable when they're actually handing you 2 harvests from one single plant. The roots themselves mature relatively quickly, often within about 50 days from planting, and along the way, you also get access to the leafy tops, which are entirely edible, nutrient-dense, and often overlooked entirely by people who toss them straight into the compost pile. That's essentially 2 crops growing on one plant at the same time, which is about as efficient as budget gardening gets, and it's exactly the kind of small advantage that adds up over a full growing season. Like several other vegetables on this list, turnips actually taste better after cooler weather sets in, developing a milder, slightly sweeter flavor compared to a summer harvest, where the roots can sometimes turn out sharp or overly pungent. Direct, sow the seeds now, keep the soil consistently moist while the seedlings are establishing themselves, and you'll have a dependable, reliable harvest well before the season fully winds down for the year. If you're looking for a crop that gives you the most usable food per square foot of soil, turnips quietly outperform a lot of flashier vegetables that get far more attention online. Vegetable 7. Lettuce. And finally, this one closes out the list because it might genuinely be the most forgiving crop of them all for anyone planting this late in the season. Lettuce germinates quickly, grows fast, and genuinely prefers the milder conditions of early fall over the harsh, punishing heat of midsummer. Hot weather is exactly what causes lettuce to bolt and turn bitter almost overnight. So by planting now, you're actually working with the plant's natural preferences instead of constantly fighting against them the way you would in July. You can also treat lettuce as a repeat harvest crop rather than a one-and-done situation. Many varieties allow you to cut the outer leaves as needed while the plant keeps producing more growth from the center, which stretches a single planting into weeks of continuous harvest instead of a single one-time pull that empties the bed all at once. If you only have room or energy left for one more planting before the season winds down completely, lettuce is about as low risk and high reward as it realistically gets. The seeds are inexpensive, the growing window is short, and the payoff in fresh salads is almost immediate compared to nearly everything else on this list. Before we move into wrapping things up, if this video has been useful to you so far, take a second to tap that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are out there trying to grow their own food without overspending on things they don't actually need. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do it. We're putting out content exactly like this on a regular basis, all built around helping you get more out of your garden without draining your wallet in the process. Also, drop a comment down below and let us know which of these 7 vegetables you're planting first. I genuinely read every single one, and it helps shape what we cover in future videos. So there you have it, 7 vegetables that prove the growing season doesn't actually end the moment August does. It simply shifts into something different, something a lot of gardeners never bother learning about. The gardeners who understand that shift are the ones still pulling fresh harvests out of their beds weeks after everyone else has already packed up their tools and called the season finished for the year. The real lesson here isn't only about these 7 specific crops. It's about recognizing that most of the limits we place on our gardens are limits we invented ourselves, not limits the plants actually have. Once you start planting with the season, instead of against outdated assumptions passed down from someone else's garden calendar, you'll find there's almost always more room to grow than you originally thought possible. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.